All right, live pictures right there from Parliament as the CS for Environment, Keriako Tobiko, answers to various issues that have been raised in regards to the ongoing eviction in the Mao area. Remember, talk of the families affected, the issue of title deeds, as well as the evictions, especially the phase 1 evictions and what has been restored in terms of the area, as well as public participation as well. We'll definitely continue monitoring that. Even as we stick in Parliament, the National Assembly is set to reopen this afternoon with a full entry, including 5 crucial bills to pass before the end of the year. Now, the Copyright Amendment Bill 2017 is aimed at protecting artist royalties, which is one of the bills that is expected to be passed and forwarded to President Uhuru Kenyatta to assent to. The entry is the Finance Bill 2019 as well, that touches on the budget process that is crucial in assisting the country raise the required revenue. They include the Competition Amendment Bill and the Insurance Amendment Bill 2019. All right, now in regards to the Parliament resuming its sittings from recess, just want to interact with our senior political affairs, our parliamentary reporter, Patrick Amimo, right now, just highlighting some of the key issues that Parliament will be focusing on. Now, Amimo, very good afternoon to you. It is quite evident that the Division of Revenue Bill 2019 was a thorny issue in Parliament. We saw the standoff between the Senate and the National Assembly, but the Senate actually, taking the 316 billion that was allocated to counties. This must be in the entry, given priority in Parliament as it resumes sittings, right?
Very well. That was really a matter that we saw these two houses go to the mediation committee for the second time, and also we witnessed a standoff. And by the time when the Parliament went on recess, that is on August 8th, until when today both houses are resuming, there was a standoff because the Senate was maintaining, it insisted it wanted 335 billion shillings, compared to the National Assembly, which had taken ground with the executive and said, okay, they are for this 316.5 billion shillings. But the Senate was saying they want to protect county governments to ensure that they realize their development. But in the push and pull, we've realized that now the county governments had been starved of funds. That's why now the Senate, last week we saw the Speaker of the Senate, Kenneth Lusaka, call members to come and really get to discuss this particular matter. That's why, though they said it was a painful decision, but then they had to settle with that at 316.5 billion shillings. So with these agreement with the Senate now with the 316.5 billion shillings, what will happen is that the mediation committee of both houses, which comprises 7 members from each house, will now have to sit, and they're scheduled to sit tomorrow, agree on this particular bill, the mediated version of the bill, which is now in agreement. There's no pull and push over it now that they're in agreement. This mediated version, when the committee sits tomorrow, we expect it to be a very easy session, where now they'll have to introduce this bill to the House on Thursday, both houses, to run concurrently, so that it be fast-tracked, and hopefully by Friday the President will have to assent to this particular bill, so that it opens up these taps for cash flow to the county governments, which are now starved. And already we saw the Council of Governors had said, should we get to mid-month, then there will be no cash, and then maybe things will ground to a standstill. But now, very, very critical again in the National Assembly, as the houses resume, they'll be debating this particular other critical bill, it is the Public Finance Amendment Bill. That is very, very critical. Once they pass the provisions of this bill, it will allow county governments to at least draw 15% of that revenue from the national government, because this was one of the monies that had this process told, the Division of Revenue Bill had it told, then this particular Public Finance Amendment Bill will have allowed county governments to draw at least 15% of that national revenue and ensure they sustain the process before the two houses agree. But now, as it is, they are in agreement, and we don't expect any more further debate on it or push and pull. By Friday, it will be ascended to by the president if all goes according to plan.
All right, now shifting focus, I think it's also prudent to highlight matters related to the budget. We saw the budget being passed, 3.02 trillion budget actually, and this might actually hint towards heightened tax regimes to fill budget deficits. Now, talk to us about this and what Parliament is meant to do.
True. When it comes now, already the House passed the budget on June, I think it was mid-June, according to, it was a regional undertaking, and we saw the budget was passed. Mm-hmm. But now there is this aspect of how to implement the budget proposals, because after the Treasury, CS Treasury gave his proposals for the 3.02 trillion budget, then they have tax raising measures. Right. And these tax raising measures are contained in the finance bill. That's why it's very, very critical that as the House resumes this afternoon, both houses, they'll give this finance bill 2019 priority to ensure that these taxation measures are debated by members and see how the minister proposed to raise different revenues in different aspects, whether they're to do with gaming, whether to do with other basic foodstuffs and everything, so that it's they can now, maybe starting September or early October, the taxation measures now apply up to December.
All right, many thanks, Amimo. We'll definitely continue monitoring these developments, the impasse in the counties, which is set to be sorted out tomorrow with the mediation committee, as well as